Hi guys, I am Boaz. I'm the pioneer of Disneyland Media International. Disneyland is an organization, an international organization that mentors students. We come up with the latest models as per the modern times, how students can study well. We do it across the entire globe, from local schools to county schools to district schools and international schools. So basically what we do, our fundamental role, point number one, we register students who would like to study online. We register them for exams, the Cambridge exams, even the local exams. An example, we do the EdExcel, we do the Cambridge, that is the CIE. We also register them for the international baccalaureate exams. So Disneyland as an organization basically was founded on three principles. The first principle is to create awareness to students and to bring the idea of innovation. We want our students to be very innovative. We want them to be very reliable. We want our students to be trustable. We want our students to be very reflective in whatever they study. If you want to learn more from my channel, as the CEO, kindly subscribe to our channel at Disneyland International and you will always get our latest. So my today plan is to take you through what I call note-making skills, because I know most of you watching, I can see there's so many people streaming online, listening and also sending quite a number of questions. Now, this idea of the note-making, it has really been of very great value in the past. But I understand, based on my research across time from all the schools around the globe, I realize that many students do not know how to make notes. Now, what will be the learning objectives of this particular area? Like, I'll be guiding you through developing effective notes, and now we have what is called the note-making, okay? You need to learn to write your notes so clearly that they will be of value in years, in weeks, and even in months, by organizing your notes well as you attend your class and keeping your notes properly. Now, we have two categories of notes. We have what I call the subject teacher notes, and we have what is called the private study notes, or what we usually call the revision notes. When I talk about the subject teacher notes, means when the teacher teaches a particular topic, when the teacher is in class, a student is expected to have a notebook and a pen. You are supposed to have a notebook and you are supposed to have a pen that you keep on noting, because they provide an encounter or what can be encountered in your cards or in your examination. The other category of notes, as I teach you the note-making skills, we call them the revision notes. When do we talk about, or when do we get the revision note? Revision notes are notes that you make while you are doing your own personal studies. When you do your own personal studies, you are expected to read the textbooks and make your own notes. And I don't mean copying from the textbooks directly and writing to exercise books, no. The best way of note making while you are doing your studies, you go through the textbook, what I call skimming. You can skim through the textbook and have an idea roughly what the textbook is talking about. Then by doing that, you get the basic concepts and summarize the notes according to the way that makes you understand it better. Now, class notes normally helps record significant facts as well as areas where the subject teacher has placed emphasis. And I also know that class notes provide the clearest, best indicator of what you expect in your cards and in your examination. I know many times the students of today, they don't attend all the notes. So please stop cutting classes. We do not cut class. You make sure that you attend all the lectures. You attend all the sessions. This idea of every time the session is on, you find students asking permission to go to the washroom is not expected. And I believe you need to roll up your sleeves and get back to work, because this is the best way we can realize what we are going to get. Remember, these are the basics that we start teaching. Like, I'll be coaching you guys all the way from the key stage 2 to key stage 3, key stage 4, and the key stage 5. And when I talk about the key stage 2, like those children that are going to sit their checkpoint in year 6, remember, you do your checkpoint in year 6, you do your checkpoint in year 9, and you go and do your IGCSE in year 11, which then you are expected to join the A levels. That is the year 12, advanced subsidiary, and the A levels, the year 13. Now, maybe one day you become a secretary of state, or you become a president, or you become a business owner. Remember, note taking is a skill that will take you a long way. It is not just going to leave you just by the end of doing your exams and passing your exams. Now, taking class notes keeps a student attentive in class. Remember, many a times a student taking note in class, you will concentrate and you will pay attention. And that is the point you will realize when a teacher has explained something that you do not get it well, you raise your hand and you ask the question. So one of the values, one of the fundamental reason why you should take notes in class, especially when the teacher is teaching, is to bring about the idea of being attentive in class. Remember, taking class notes ensures that students participate actively. If you participate actively in class, you will be taking notes of what the teacher does, rather than just being a daydreamer in class. Taking class notes based on the notes I'm making, the models I'm developing, because I'm trying to do quite a number of research and helps how our student is going to learn. Like, it ensures that a student is mentally present. It is going to ensure that the child is mentally present in class. Taking class notes helps a student sort out important information. Class notes also function as a study aid, an extended memory device, because you cannot just sit in class and expect, even at PhD level, that you will remember everything that has been taught. Class notes are very, very important. It is an instrument to review and retention of what the content that has been taught. Class note helps to keep a permanent record of what you read or hear in class, or for easy reference. Now, this is a very fundamental point to note. Make sure that you study in groups after the teacher has taught. Then through that, while each and every member is contributing their thoughts, their ideas based on what they read before, because I do not expect a student of any level, either middle school, high school, or in college, to read a textbook during exams, because I'll teach you how to even summarize your notes. For the summary of notes, assume this is your exercise book or where you take your notes. You can always fold that particular piece of paper or the printing paper, whether it's a foolscap or whatever, then you summarize your notes. Whether you are studying maths, which we know is a practice subject, you summarize your notes, you try to highlight basic areas. And I always expect most of my students at all times, you should always have the highlighters, where you highlight some of the key areas in the textbook while you are making notes. So learn how to summarize your notes. Do not read a textbook during exams. That is not expected to any serious student. Now, revision notes serve several purposes, and I would like to give you an example where it serves. Number one, understanding and learning. Remember, a good learner, across my research that I've done across students, across time, this is one of the three things I learned, that good performing students, those A students, they have learned how to take good notes and how to study. Number one, understanding and learning. Number two, concentration. Not making forces you to pay attention in class, just like I'd said it earlier. Then revision notes help you practice how to recall information and important facts that is expected in class. Now, two most common ways of making revision notes. I researched and I came up with two most important points. Number one, okay, we have the annotation. Annotation is underlining the main points. Like, you have a textbook, maybe it's mathematics, maybe it's biology, chemistry, physics, geography, maybe it's a foreign language. Annotation simply means you use a highlighter, then you highlight some of the most important points. So if I mean an highlighter, you just use an highlighter. Maybe there's a point that you did not understand, then you clearly highlight it. Then later on, you go back to your ideas and start explaining to other members of the class as well. Using the margins, I know many times, check your exercise book. As a parent, you can check the exercise book of your child. You will find some of them, while they're writing notes in class, they jump the pages. Some books are disorderly, some are not even covered, mutilated, dilapidated, and decapitated. So you need to take care of your exercise book where you take the notes. And I always encourage most of my students across time that you make sure that you leave the margins for note making while you are doing your studies. In class notes that you normally annotate, by the way, you annotate it as part of your revision. Now, written revision notes. Now, there are at least 4 major categories of written notes. One of the major categories that you need to know from today is summary notes. What are summary notes? Based on my research and my plans, development of a shorter version of the original material using only essential facts and key ideas. An example, if you're studying a mathematics, then you come up with a model, a formula. You write it in a way that makes you understand it. So as you prepare for your cuts, your exams, in any setup where you are learning, it will help you go through your revision that fast. Then number 2, outline notes. Outline notes, recording only keywords or phrases. You cannot extract big chunks from the textbook and write everything from the textbook, right? Then we have what I call linear notes. Linear notes is listening or reading and then recording what you've heard already in your own words. Read the textbook or listen to the teacher. Close that textbook, then start rewriting what you have learned. That also ensures, it also improves your mental dexterity. It improves your mental faculty. It improves on your focus. Because once you're a student, you ask yourself, who am I and what do I really want? So the 2 key things that I want you to learn from today is service and significance in what you do as a student. Because you have the opportunity to be a learner. A time will come that now you will be either employed or you will be an employer. So this is the best opportunity you can take to do your studying. Number 4, mind maps. What are mind maps? Mind maps are graphic, networked method of storing, organizing, and prioritizing information, usually on paper using key trigger words. Like one of my little year 6 students once said that, once I draw a triangle, I can be able to manipulate different formulas. That's like a trigger word, which is also expected up to the A levels. And when you are a good students make good notes. The following guidelines should assist you make good notes during lessons, lectures, and any other presentation. Point number 1, if possible, read the content of the lesson, the lecture, presentation beforehand. This will help you enhance your understanding. Hence, it will help you make clear and easy understanding of your notes. So today I just wanted to talk basically about note making, because I've realized many students do not fail because they are not good learners. There is nobody stupid. There is nobody who cannot perform. It simply means you need more time to do your study. And nobody can ever tell you that you cannot learn. Everybody can always learn. Okay? Now always remember to make a note of the topic and the date. That one also takes me back to other concept I taught you earlier. Work organization. You must be very organized in whatever that you're studying. By reading the textbooks, coming up with the past papers from the Cambridge. For some of you are under the Cambridge schools, even international baccalaureate, some of my students under the CIE and all that. You need to take your studying seriously, because this is what will lead you to the college, to the university, and later on your career life. And preparation begins right at school where you are at the moment. Now, immediately after the lesson or the lecture, this is what I always tell most of my students, review the notes when they are still fresh in your mind and add details or clarification where necessary. Thereafter, read and reread the notes again and again until they become familiar with them without any cramming. Now, the following are the guidelines on how to make notes from a textbook. This is what I usually tell my students. From the textbook, first you skim, read through the topic, again, appreciation of what it's all about, as in taking the big picture. Then read the whole topic, chapter by chapter, a second time, and then you try to sum it up in your few words, in few sentences. Make notes. Do not be tempted to make notes while reading. You will write the entire textbook. And I think those are some of the key basic areas. I'm talking to somebody preparing for the checkpoint in year 6. I'm talking to somebody preparing for the checkpoint in year 9 under the Cambridge. I'm talking to somebody preparing for the IGCSE. I am talking to somebody preparing for the A-levels exams. Remember, preparation has power. When the mind is in doubt, it is easily swayed by slight impulses, opening the doors to many wrongs. And that only happens when a student is not well prepared. You find a night to exams, you want to read all the textbook in the house. You want to transnight, what we used to call burning the midnight oil. You just need to do bit by bit, but on a daily basis. Forming the revision groups in school, going to the revision sites. We have so many of them in the digital times. And I think the moment you know whom you are as a student and what do you really want at school, you will not be followed up by your parents, by your aunts and cousins at all the times that, did you study? Did you do your homework? Did you go to school? Nobody will ask you that, because you will take what I call taking the personal responsibility of your study. And I believe what you are now is what will translate to be what you are supposed to be tomorrow, because it is determined by time. And that's why my first lecture had talked about time management. If you find many students do not manage their time well, then it will affect even their studies. Because a time comes, you have so many subjects, you are supposed to do your exams, and you do not have that time to do all that studying. And I think this is the time that you should check. As what we normally do under the Disneyland International, we guide students, we mentor students. We mentor them. We have the students' conferences, and we make it fun activities where we learn quite a number of things. And most of the students that have been under our program have been doing so well in their final exams, even their career life, because we believe these are the basics that we need to look at. If you don't score well in maths, maybe in year 9, year 10, or key stage 5, the basic thing that I want to tell you, go back to the basics. You need to go back to the basics. There's no way you may have a problem maybe with negative numbers or basic arithmetic problems, then you expect to score better grades in A levels. So you have to go back to basics. And this is what I think can help most of us students to do well. So if you like our channel, please subscribe. Leave a comment. We have our contacts down there. You can always keep in touch with us. We do online registration. We mentor students, both online and face-to-face. We have our conferences, which we normally do once after every month. And our students are doing so well. As a parent listening to me, find a way of helping your child. Find a way of helping your student. Do not complain about their work. Do not start saying, you don't do good. No, please go back to basics. Check the exercise books. Do they rule their books? Do they have the required materials? Do they have the pencils? Do they have the erasers? Do they have the highlighters? Is their study room well lit? Do they have the required internet in that particular study room? Because I believe every child has the potential. Every child has the ability to achieve it in life. Thank you so much, guys. For more, subscribe to our channel. Thank you.